Alright guys, really exciting news. Now you have custom objects available inside all plans. So even if you are 97 plan, 297 plan or even 497 plan, you can now access custom objects. Earlier only 497 plan had access to custom objects. Now everyone can access custom objects. So if you are wondering what is a custom object, I have another video. You can go ahead and check that out. But to give you a quick overview, custom objects are any objects that are not part of the system already. So now the question is, what is an object? So you see here, there is opportunities, there is contacts and companies. These are all objects. A CRM deals with contacts and that becomes the main object of CRM systems. But then you also have things like opportunities, companies, nodes, tags, etc. Those are all objects that can be connected to contacts. So some objects are already created by the software itself. So you can see we have opportunities, we have companies, we have tags, nodes, appointments. All of these objects are already created for you. But it's not possible for the software company to give all the objects that you need for your specific business. That's when the custom object comes into play. You can create an object that you want for your business. So that's what we are going to look at today and how you can implement this in your business. Okay, so the example that we are going to look into today is about a company that is offering loans. It's actually funny that I had a discussion with someone a couple of days ago talking about loans, and I was talking about how custom objects can be used in that scenario. And at that point it was not available for 297 plan, but now it is available. So probably he can use custom objects for his business. So that's why I'm picking this example, but you can also use it in a dance studio and you have parents coming in and registering their students, and you can create an object for the students. So if there are multiple students coming from one family, you can track all those students under one parent. So all of this can be done. Another example, that you are running a car maintenance shop, then you can create records for each car and connect that to the owner of the car. All of this can be implemented using custom objects. So now let's go ahead and see how you can create this loan custom objects and how it interacts with the contact object. All right, so let's get started. So if you don't know where to find objects, you go into your sub account, click on the settings, and then you find objects on the left hand side, and then you will be taken to this window. This is where you can add a new custom object. So now you can click here to add a new custom object. So I'm going to click here, and now this window will pop up, and this is where you set up your custom object. So in this case, I am creating a custom object for loans. So the singular label for this object would be loan, and the multiple would be loans. So if you are creating one record, that is a one record of loan, and if you are creating multiple records, that is multiple records of loans. This would look pretty silly, but you need to specify all those things if you are creating a system. So that's the first step. You give the singular name and the plural name, and once that is done, you have to give a primary display field name. For example, if you are creating a contact, the contact name itself is the primary display field. So if you are creating an opportunity, the opportunity name is the display field, right? So similarly, you can create a primary display name for loan applications. So that's what we are defining here. So this is going to be a single line text field. So it is only going to be text related data. So you can pick whatever you want to pick. But I would probably suggest that you want to keep this as a unique identifier or a unique field. So I'm going to select this to be loan application number, and I am going to make this as a unique field. So just like you have a unique email address for a contact or a unique phone number for a contact, this field will become very unique to the loan application itself. So you can create multiple loan applications, but if you look at this field, this will be very unique to that specific loan application. So I'm going to call this loan application number. So I'm also going to make this primary field a unique field by checking this box. So now each application will have a unique application number, and that's how you can identify each of the applications. So now you can also change the icon. There are some options here. As of now, there aren't many unique options, but anyway, I'm gonna select this for now. And now this will become the icon for the loan object, just like you have these icons for contacts and opportunities and payments. And this new object that we are creating, this loan object, will have this as its icon. So that's pretty much the function of this icon. And then you can also give a description for this object that you're creating. And now we can go ahead and create this object, or else you can create and add a custom field. So just like contacts have different custom fields such as first name, last name, email address, phone number, you can also create custom fields for this new object that we are creating. So I'm going to click here, create and add custom field, and then it will take me back to the same page. But now you can see there is a new object created. It is called loan, and you can also see there is a description for it, and anyone who is on this page can understand what this loan is all about. Just like contacts contains list of all leads, their details and specification, and now loans contains all the loan related data. If you want to change the details, you can go in and edit it, but for now we are good. And now if you click on these three dots, you would see there is an edit option, and another option is to add custom fields. So that's what we are going to do. We are going to add custom fields, and you can see that everything looks the same, just like you create a new custom field for a contact. So the process is pretty similar, and the only difference is that under which object you are creating this custom field. So I would say let's create a type of loan first. So I'm going to select a single drop down and click next, and this is going to be, and I have selected loan type, and this will go under loan info, and you can see the object it is connected to is loan. And if you want to change that back to contact or opportunity or even company, you can do that, but we are going to keep it as loan itself. And a group is automatically created with the title loan info, so you don't have to do anything. You just need to select that under the group. If you want to create a new group, you can go back and create a new group, but for now we are going to select loan info. Here under options we can say let's say home loan, and then you can add any number of options that you want to, but for now I'm just keeping it at 3, and I'm going to click save, and this custom field will be created. Now if you want to create a new custom field, what I'm going to do, add field, and now I have to select what type of field I want to create. In this case I also want to know what sort of loan amount they are applying for, so I'm going to select another drop down, and I'm going to call it loan amount, and this is also connected to loan object, and I'm going to select it under loan info, and this is, let's say, less than 50k. So let's just assume that this is the options that I'm giving, and I'm ready to save this. I'm saving this. Now that is done, and I can also create another one which is probably something called a loan. I'm going to select loan notes, and this is going to be some notes about the loan itself, and then I can click save, and I'm going to create one more field. Let's call it loan name. So the name of the loan, if we want to add something towards that, we can add that, and then you select the group as loan info. But you can also see that mark field as unique. If you want to create another unique field, you can mark this field as unique, and you can only create up to 10 unique fields under this plan. So maybe if you are on a different plan, you might get more unique fields. So depending on your business requirement, you might need more unique fields. But for now, for us, for this example, we only need one unique field, which is the application number, and we have already created it, so we don't really need any other unique identifier. So I'm just going to select loan name as the new custom field, which is a single line custom field, and I'm going to click save. So as of now, we have created all the custom fields that we require for this demo. So now let's go ahead and see how we can create a new loan record, which means that how can we create a new record under this custom object called loan. All right. So the easiest way to do this would be to go to your form settings. So go into your sites and go to forms, and you create a new form. So I have already created a form to test. So let's open this form, custom object testing form. So here we have our form, which looks like any other form which you have created inside GoHighLevel. But the cool thing now is that if you look here, you can see add object field. Earlier it used to be add contact fields, but now it is add object fields. So if you click here, you would see that it's not just contacts anymore. We can actually add opportunity related fields, company related fields, and even the custom object related field. So that's what we're going to do now. So I'm going to select loan related field. So now if you look at it, what we're doing is that we are combining two different objects together. So this form has a name and email, which is connected to contact object, and now we are adding on top of that a loan object into this. So we are kind of creating an association between contacts and a new loan object. So this contact will be connected to the loan that we are creating, so they will have a relationship. So that's what we are going to look at now, how we are going to create that relationship between two different objects. So let's go and click on loan info, and I'm going to select the loan type added into this. But then it would ask me to create an association. Select the association with contact. So we haven't created an association, so we have to create that association now. So what is an association? So an association is actually a relationship between two databases. So here one database is the contact related database and another database is the loan related database. So you have name, email address, phone number of a contact, and then you have the details related to this loan on this side. So you have to tell that, so this contact is connected to this loan application. So that's what an association means. So that's what we are going to create now. So if you have already created an association, you can click on this drop down button and then you can select that association. Now that we haven't created one, we have to create a new association. So if you click here to create new association, you can create one. And if you want to create inside the custom object itself, what I would do is that I go back to, I would go inside my loan object and I would see a tab called associations. I click on this tab and this is where I can create an association. So I click here, create association, and then this window will pop up. This is where I can create that association. So you can create this association either from here or whenever you're creating a form with multiple objects involved. So here if I added this will ask me and I can click here and this will also open the same window and I will create a new association here. So let's go here and create this association. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to associate this contact with this loan object. Instead of a single label, I'm going to select a pair of labels. So this concept of database relationship will become easier if you are using a pair of labels rather than one label. So what is the label that you want to give for loans? So this label would be applied to each of the loans. So I'm going to simply say loan as the label for each of the loans, and the label for contact, I'm going to select client. So each of the contact is a client for this loan, right? So that's how the language works for this association. So there is one client and there is a loan associated with that client. So that's why we are giving this label client and loan. And now comes the main part where you configure the relationship. I told you that association is actually the relationship between two different objects. So that's what we are going to set here. And if you click on this here, you get the idea of database relationship. I also have another video talking about this relationship in depth. If you are new to custom objects, maybe you want to have a look at that. But anyway, I'm going to give you a quick overview of relationship. So there are mainly three types of database relationship: one-to-one relationship, and one-to-many relationship, and many-to-many relationship. One-to-one relationship is like if you buy a ticket for GHL Summit, then you have one ticket and that one ticket is connected to one person. So that's a one-to-one relationship. One person have one ticket and one ticket has one person's name connected to it. But then you can actually buy multiple tickets if you want to. For example, you are an organization buying tickets for your employees, then all these tickets are issued to your company. So now this company has multiple tickets. So one company has multiple tickets, that is one-to-many relationship, right? So one company has multiple tickets, but one ticket is connected to one company. I hope that makes sense. These two are the main usable relationship in a database architecture. You can also create many-to-many relationship. This can get confusing. So the main usable relationship are one-to-one and one-to-many, but of course you can create many-to-many. And then you also have a custom relationship which is one-to-n. You can actually create more complex things. So the example given here is that a dealership allows one car to be listed for sale by up to 5 contacts labeled as sellers. So now you can create that relationship up to 5 contacts as seller. Those are all possible, but that is beyond the scope of this video. So we are going to stick to one-to-one or one-to-many relationship in here. And the relationship that I'm going to create between contact and the loan would be one-to-many. Like I said before, if you have questions related to this database relationship, please refer to the other video. I'll put that in the description. So let's go ahead and create this relationship. So loan to contact is a relationship that we are creating, but now there is a shortcut to understand all of this. Thanks to HighLevel, they have given this preview here, which will help us to understand the relationship in a much clearer way. So here you can see this is many-to-many relationship. You don't need to understand anything as of now. Just see that there is many. If you click here, you get options many, one, or custom. So let's keep it as many-to-many and try to understand this. So here you would see up to 1,000 contacts can be associated with each loan. So here on the left hand side you have a loan, and on the right hand side there is 1,000 contacts, right? So as of now 1,000 is probably the limit that HighLevel has, and maybe on higher plans you might have a higher limit, but we are not worried about that as of now. We just want to understand how this relationship works. So you have one loan connected to 1,000 people and one contact connected to 1,000 loans. That's what happens in a many-to-many relationship, but that's not really ideal. So that is a many-to-many relationship. But what we want is, so one person can have multiple loans, but one loan can only be connected to one person. We don't want one loan connected to 1,000 people. So you might be thinking, yes, I actually want that. I want a certain type of loan connected to multiple people. That's right. But to make it easier, I'm going to change this label to something like loan application. So what we are dealing here is actually a record of a loan. One record of this loan is one loan application. One loan application is actually connected to one client, and one client can have multiple loan applications for different loan products. I hope that makes it even clearer now. So you have one loan application that is connected to one contact, and this one contact can have multiple loan applications. So that's the one-to-many relationship that we are trying to create here. Okay, now I'm going to select this to be one. And if you go down to this preview and read it, you would see up to one contact can be associated with each loan using the label client. That's what we want. One loan application connected to one client, right? And up to 1,000 loans can be associated with each contact using the label loan application. So now you understand that I can apply for up to 1,000 loans using this relationship. If you take my loan application, it's only connected to me. It's not connected to many other people. My loan application is connected only to me, but then I can apply for another loan products. And each of the time it will create a new loan application, and each of this loan application will have only one connection, that's towards me, right? So that's one-to-many relationship. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible, and I hope this is not too confusing. But anyway, that's the nature of database associations. It takes a bit of time to get your head around it. So now we have successfully created a one-to-many relationship between a client and loan applications. And all I have to do now is click save. And we have created this associations. And now we can go back to our form and refresh it. So I'm in this form, I'm going to refresh this, and now we are ready to add the fields that are connected to loans. So now let's go to add object fields, and now let's change the object from contact to loans, and then we are going to go inside loan info, and I'm going to drag loan type in here, and it is going to ask me what sort of association I want. And now we have the option here, the client association many-to-one loans. I select that, click save. And now we have created a multi-object form. So in this object you have contacts and another custom object called loans. And you probably see that this loan application number is also popped into this form. I haven't added that field, but it also voluntarily came along. So if you remember, we made that as a unique field. So when you are dealing with two different objects in one form, you need to specify that unique field to create a new record. So you can see email will be used to create that contact or to associate with that contact, and the loan application number, which is our unique field, will be used to take care of the new record of loan application that we are going to create from this form. Okay, and now we can also add loan amount, loan notes if you want to, and the loan name. Okay, so now we have this form, and just go and preview this. I'm just going to give a random values to these things. The loan type, let's select home loan. The loan amount, let's say 50K to 100K, loan application number. So the thing is that loan application number has to be unique value, and since we have selected this to be a unique value, we actually need to provide certain value in here which is unique. But I would probably want to take care of this value using an automation by creating a unique value for that. When the form is submitted, we can use automation to create a value for that. We will look into that later, but for now let me add some random value here, and this is a loan note. And now I have filled everything up, and I'm going to submit this form. So now the form has been submitted. So now let's go back to our contacts, and you can see a new contact has been created with the name testing loan and with this email address by submitting the form. And then if you look at on the left hand side again, you would see a new tab for loans. If you go inside this, and you also see the same icon that we selected, and if everything worked well, you would see that we have created a new record under this loan section, and it has the name that we gave, the type, and everything that we gave. And if you go inside this, you can see the details related to that specific loan application. And now if you click here on this associations, it will tell you which is the contact that is connected with it. So now testing loan is the contact that is connected with it, and you can see the tag here, client. So this is the client for that specific loan application. So if you click on this contact, and if you click on that relationship, the association, it will take you straight into this contact record. You can see the name and email address of this contact. And on the right hand side, if you see here associations, it will show you all the loans that this person has. And then if you go inside this, you will see all the loan record related data. So that's how the relationship works. So now we have successfully created a relationship between contact and a loan record, right? So now if I go back to my form again, so now if I go back again, and if I am going to apply for a car loan this time with the same email and address, so if I'm going to go with this one and I click this one, a new record will get added. And if you go and refresh this contact, and now you can see there are two loan applications related to this same contact. And if you click on this loan application, it will take you to that specific loan application form. And you can also go back to the person who applied for the loan by clicking on this association. And if you go to loans, you would see all the loan application that has come through to you, and then you can simply go inside one of the loans and read the details of that loan, and then you can simply click on this contact and do the necessary things that you need to do. So that's how this works. So now let's go into the workflow that is related to custom objects, right? So let's go to automations, and I'm going to add a new automation. But now you would see that there are some cool new options available to us, which is that you have a loan based workflow. So if you click on this, you can create a loan based or a custom object based workflow. So in here, the triggers you have available are a little bit different. So if you click here, triggers, you would see the triggers connected to custom objects, which is once a loan is created or once a loan is changed. So you can use these as a trigger, or you can also bring in an inbound webhook to do certain things. So these are the main triggers that you can use, and everything else is pretty much like community related triggers, certificates, and TikToks. So that's actually a very good thing to know, that you can actually combine your community and even TikTok into your custom object workflow. That's pretty cool. So now these are the triggers. Now you have understood the trigger. Let's say when a new loan is created, I want something to happen. right? So I can go in here and I can also filter it out based on the values that I have for a loan object, a loan record. So if you go here, add filter, you get these options, that the fields that we created for that custom object, you get access to that. So you can say that if the loan amount is more than 1 million, what you can do is that you can save that as a trigger, and then you can give a outbound call straight away. How about that? So you can create a voice AI outbound call if the loan amount, as someone requested, is more than 1 million. So that's one option. I'm just giving you some of the things that you can do with this custom objects. So now let's look at the custom object actions that we have available. One is, of course, you can create a new record based on some of the triggers. As of now, it will be based on the inbound webhook that is coming in. You can do that. So when a new inbound webhook comes in, you can create a new record based on the values that you receive from the inbound webhook. That's one option. You can also update a loan record, and you can also clear fields on a loan record. In order to do that, you first need to find the record. That's when you use the find object record. But for this to work, it looks like you need to have an inbound webhook as a trigger. So I'm not sure if that is really useful. So as of now, we are not going into that. And now you can also remove or add a loan record into different workflows. If you are removing this associated record from a workflow, you have to select the object. In this case, we are going to select contact, and the associated label would be client, and then we select the workflows that we have access to, and then whoever is the contact that is associated with this loan record will be removed from another workflow. So I'm pretty sure this is very complex to implement for this dev team. So hats off to them. So now this is how you can remove someone from a workflow or add someone to a different workflow based on what happens inside your custom object. And a few things you can do is that when a loan is created, you can use the if else condition, and then you can also go inside the loan and you can look for the loan amount or whatever fields you have. So let's say the loan type. So if the loan type is home loan, you can create a branch, and then you can give a voice AI call if you want to, or you can add them into a Google Sheet, or you can send the data using a custom webhook to a third-party software you're using to run your loan related workflow. So you can do that, or you can send them to a Google Sheet. You can do a few things here. Maybe I'll look into it and find even more useful use cases in another video. So that's all for now related to custom objects. If you want to get started with custom objects, go to your sub account, click on settings, click create a new custom object, give it a name, and get started with it. So I'm looking forward to your feedback. What do you think about custom objects? How you are going to use custom objects in your business? And if you have any suggestions, and if you have a real life example which you want me to look into, please let me know. And I'm looking forward to working with you all. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one, and bye.